Okay, Nikki, share with us what you were just sharing with me a minute ago. I want to get this on camera.
Yeah. So for me, I had a lot of not a lot of voices, because that makes me sound like I have something wrong with me. But the voice in my head that talks to me, talk to me in those deep, dark moments, that would tell me that I wasn't good enough, or that I wasn't worth it, or that I was not lovable. I would listen to those, and I would create situations in my life to reinforce those thoughts. So when I talk to people, I ask them, what's the voice in your head tell you? Does it tell you you're not a good mother? Does it tell you that your husband doesn't love you, or your wife doesn't love you, or that, what does it tell you? And do you see how you live your life, or you create circumstances in your life that align with what those voices are saying? Because there's a correlation there. For me, it was, and I really got that when I listened to what those voices said and looked at my life, it all was the same. Everywhere. At work, I used to think, I'm not smart enough to do that job. I'm not good enough to be at that level. I'm not good enough to be a manager of a company. Well, my results were in alignment with all those things in my head. And so that's what I want to talk to people about. What are those voices telling you, and what are the results in your life? And do they align with what those things in your head tell you? Because when you can understand that that's not true, and all those voices aren't true, then you can let go of all that, and you can create results that are much different from those things, what those things are telling you. And I've done that, and the things that would hold me back before, the things that were scary to me, standing up in front of a room and giving a presentation to 50 people, that would scare me. I do it all the time now. Even though beforehand that might make me nervous, the more I do it, the less control it has over me. And the more it reinforces in my head that I can do it, I do deserve it, I am smart enough, all those things that I didn't think before. When you put it into action, it just completes that cycle, and it numbs, it shuts down the voices in your head, and it replaces them with all the other things that can create your life to how you want it to look.
I get it. That's really great. So you share this with people who haven't done the training.
Right.
And what do they say to you after that?
Well, they say that they understand that, they can relate to that. I think a lot of people feel like they're alone in that they're by themselves, and it's not common. And really, we all have it. Everybody has it. And I think it gives them comfort, that they hear somebody else saying it, and it might be scary for them to say it out loud, but they get it. And we get done with these conversations, and they're like, yeah, this sounds great. It sounds like it's something that I would love to be a part of. And then we continue, either talk some more, or, let them know how we can make this happen, and they can attend one of these trainings and see for themselves how it can benefit them, and how it can make their life look really different. Go ahead.
My thinking is, thanks for letting me interject. My thinking is, what stops people then from participating? I mean, so let me just stop for a minute. I haven't heard you share that conversation with me in the past.
Okay.
And I'd like to take all the credit in the world for that. But you generated that. I didn't generate that. So that was really nice. Mm-hmm. And then so I don't know if there's a sound thing going on.
Yeah, I heard a little blip. I don't know.
So what I want to look at, or bring me into, what occurs next, but the negative part. That's okay. So then why don't people then choose to participate after such a clear, concise, experiential understanding of what becomes possible for people?
Well, I think one of the things is they hang up the phone with me, or walk away from that conversation, and immediately that voice in their head is going to come back. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? We're fine. We don't need this. And they sink back into this, what they think is safety. They look at it as, I'm safe over here. I'm not putting myself out there. And until they either have the conversation again and think through that again, or sometimes they talk themselves out of it completely. I'm not letting that happen again, because wow, I was really close to almost letting my guard down. And it's safer over here. I'm going to just stay in my corner. But what happens is when you stay in that corner and decide you want to be safe, which in reality isn't safety, you're just going to continue having what you have. And I think that's a big point to understand is if you have something in your life that isn't working, you're going to, and you can have it, you're going to stay there, but you have to put yourself out there and walk into that scariness or that fear and confront it, or nothing's ever going to change. And I think that's the second part of it. You know, you can talk about the first part about getting them to a place where they say, I want that, but then it's continuing the conversation, staying in it with them long enough that they understand that unless I walk through the scary part of it, I'm not going to get there. And I think that's a follow-up conversation that needs to be had with people that are choosing to not move forward.
So people can identify that they're choosing safety? People say to you,
I don't think they look at it. I think
that's your interpretation.
That's my interpretation.
I mean, I have the same interpretation, don't get me wrong.
Yes.
But what do they say? What are the words that they use to rationalize not?
Well, that sounds really good. And I know some people that could really use that, but I don't think I need it right now. I think I'm going to be fine for a while. Maybe I'll do it on the next time. A lot of times it's money, which blows my mind because I work for a company that sends me to a one-day seminar for $1,500. And I'm thinking it's 2.5 days for $300 or $400. Like, what is your life worth to you? You know, is it worth $300? Is it worth $400? That the money thing, you know, is not, but people go there.
What we're talking about is the victim paradigm. Yes, yeah, so impacting that victim paradigm, impacting that victim thinking. It's actually an addiction. It's a physiological addiction. The brain and the body are addicted to that anxiety and fear and neglect and being right about all that. Right? Being right about that they've been wronged.
Right.
It's a physiological addiction.
You know, I remember for me when I was talking about going, for me what came up was I can't tell my husband I'm going to leave for 2.5 days. That was scary to me. What's he going to think? What's he going to say? He doesn't want to take the kids by himself for 2.5 days, but that was an excuse I was using for not communicating with him, for not saying to him what, you know, and that comes up for people too.
All right, well, look, let's stop. I'd like to say this: you don't work for me, and so I wonder, you know, like I know why you continue to participate in the way. Do you want to share with the group why you're committed to having people in your life participate in the basic training? Do you want to share why you're doing this talk today?
Sure. Well, I'm committed to continuing with this training and having people in my life who have had this experience, because we support each other in a way that people who don't have the experience are unable to support me, because for them, supporting me is enabling me. And I know that doesn't work in my life. And what I mean by that is when people say to me, oh, you know, that really sucks that you didn't get that promotion, or that really sucks that your husband was being such an asshole. And, you know, when they put it on somebody else, it takes away my power. And somebody who hasn't been through this experience doesn't see that. They don't understand that that's taking away my power, because they're putting it on somebody else, which means I don't own it. And I'm not responsible for it. So I'm committed to having everybody in my community. I'd love everybody I work with and all my family and everybody to go through, because then they're supporting me in that transformation that I've experienced, and holding on to my power and owning it and being responsible and being accountable. Because I know what it looks like to not have that.
It's for you.
It's for me. It is for me. Absolutely. It's for me.
Got it. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nici.
Thank you.